Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Now these are going to be my play ratings for Tottenham versus Chelsea, which ended in 4-1. Spurs lose for the first time this season in the Premier League at home. And yeah, it was a mad arse game, going down to 9 men and putting the performance that we did after that. Just shows what Ange has done to this team. And yeah, be sure to let me know what your play ratings are, whether you agree with mine. Like, comment and subscribe, and we're just gonna get straight into these play ratings. Starting off with Vicario, who I'm gonna be honest was my man of the match. Like, alongside, like, Porro was up there, but I feel like Vicario just edges it. Let's be real, okay? Vicario, 9. Hands down, probably his best performance of the season so far. And the fact that the amount of saves he made, ridiculous. The save, like, not just the amount of saves, but the actual save itself. Oh my god. He, like, just in this game alone, he's got to be nominated for Player of the Month. Like, I'm sorry, just this game alone, he needs to be nominated for Player of the Month. And that's just me stating facts. You know, he saved that an early save low down from Jackson. He got close to Palmer's penalty, like he sort of got his hand to it. In second half when Cucurella had the ball, and the way he just like ran out and like made himself big, like that was amazing. The way he was just like the sweeper keeper, like everything, like all the long balls that Chelsea were flying forward, boot it further down the pitch. And he was excellent. Like, he was, like I said, my man of the match. His touch map, from what I've seen, you would not think that was a goalkeeper. You would not think that was Vicario. And yeah, he was just immense. And I thought, you know, I've been saying that Madison would have been starting the season, but Vicario, the way he's been performing, he's been up there. I feel like he could also be another sign of the season, because the way he has been performing, we couldn't have got anyone better. He was just, and he's a real leader out there as well, I felt like, and like just the way he like presents himself, and like his interview afterwards after the game, and like I just love him. Yeah, for me, Porro gets a 9. He was just, his performances this season, I've been saying, but his blocking, his tackling, providing quality, like that free kick that Bentancur nearly scored from. Realistically, Bentancur should have scored, but like I'm gonna give him leniency because of the fact that he has, like, this is like his second appearance this season, like. But it was so close. The fact it was so close, but Porro, my god, and just like the way he was just, like, interacting with the fans as well. I can't remember who tackled him, but there was like was it Madrid? I think it might have been. And then it just lazily gets up, and then he's just like this to the fans. Like, I love that video. Gives me life, honestly. But yeah, he was just excellent, and he put in a real shift, let's be real, and he was very close to being another man of the match of mine. Like I said, Vicario just edged it. The way his defensive side has improved, but he still kept that sort of quality on the other end, like attacking wise. He's honestly been a sensation. Okay, we're gonna move on to Romero. This one's not gonna be as fun. This one's, yeah, Romero, for me, I was like, I'm not entirely sure what rate to give him, because he only lasts like, what, 33 minutes. And apart from the 2 instances, the petulant one, the kick, sort of kick, but not really a kick, and then the red card as well. For me, I'll give Romero a 4. That might be a bit high, but I kind of, yeah, I don't know. I'm under, yeah, for me, a 4. That, you might think that's a bit too high, but you know, it is what it is. And he just really let himself down. He let the team down, and it's just unfortunate that we're sitting here talking about Romero getting sent off, because he's been so amazing. Like for the previous 10 games, he was immense. So it's just unfortunate that we're sitting here talking about him only lasting 33 minutes and getting sent off. And again, I'm not like the challenge, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not like mad about that, but I feel like you give the ref no choice if you do something like that. But then it's like, I don't know. I feel like those are given the red card, and like you can't really argue against it. So And I feel like just because of how high the foot was and like where it was on the end zone, it's going to get given a red card. And it also went to penalty as well. So, and it's just not something that you need from your vice captain against one of your rivals at home when you're on top. Like, it's just something that shouldn't happen. And we really need Romero to learn from this. Like, we need, like, we want to be like the same player and keep that edge in him, but he just needs to stop. He just needs to think before he does what he does. And like, obviously, Romero gives you more good than he does bad. So that's why why are people so like, we need to sell him, like he's too unreliable, we need to sell him. Like, okay, like calm down. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, he cost us a game, but for me, I wouldn't think about selling him, okay? Regardless of this incident, he is still a great centre. Like, he's still, in my eyes, one of the best centre-backs in the league. This was sort of on the old touch of the old Romero that we were seeing. But I don't think this is a time to just like turn on him. So I'm not gonna be one of those doing that. And that's something that we don't need, like the positivity and happiness around Spurs, what's been this season. He's been a huge part of that. And I don't think that this one incident should change that. And I stand by what I said. Moving on to Van de Ven. Oh, Van de Ven. This makes me so sad to talk about Van de Ven, because obviously he pulled up his hamstring and it's like, he's probably going to be out for a while. But for me, he gets a 7. I feel like he started the game really well. And it's just unfortunate that he failed to fall holding his hamstring. And honestly, when that happened, I think every Spurs fan was just like this all night, like, because that's one of the things that we've been like really concerned about, is the fact that one of Romero, Van de Ven, getting an injury, and it's happened, and it's like, could be a long term one, we don't know, because obviously the news is that Spurs are looking at centre back since Van de Ven's injury, so it's like, that could be bad, or it could just be precautionary, like, we don't know. But regardless of the injury, I feel like we needed to look at centre backs in January anyways, at least 2, if not 3, to bring in, because we need squad depth. We need squad depth. The amount of injuries we have is just ridiculous amount when you think about it. But we're really low in like the defensive area, like centre back wise. So that's why I'm like, yeah, we just need to look. And yeah, Van de Ven, a 7 from me. I just wish he lasted longer, and it's just frustrating that we ended up losing him. And I've seen people talk about, like, because of VR was constantly stopping and starting, maybe that could have contributed to the fact that he got that injury. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't have the qualifications or the knowledge to be able to determine whether that could be the case or not. So, I mean, you could argue a bit. There could be a case for it. Who knows? But I'm not going to read too much into that, and I'm not going to sit here and say that's like VAR's the reason why people are getting, like, players are getting injured. I feel like the officials and like the medical teams and like people like who are like doctors and know actually what sort of causes sort of injury, maybe they'll figure it out. And if VAR is the potential cause to some sort of injury, then maybe that's something they need to look at. But I can't see and argue that that's the case. Udogie, now, again, I've also given Udogie a 4. Obviously he picked up that early yellow card, which was unfortunate, and like he definitely shouldn't have made that challenge, but obviously they checked it for a red card. I don't think it was a bit of a red card. I feel like if he made actual contact with Sterling, then that would be a red card. But because he avoided contact, for me, yellow card is fine. Now, the first yellow card, you could say, you know what, it is what it is. We've seen Udogie get a yellow card before, and he was up against Salah Saka, and he managed to stay on the pitch. He managed not to make any challenges that would result in a card. So you're thinking, okay, you know, Udogie, you've been in a situation before, you know what you should do. You need to stand on your feet, and you just need to keep your head up, focus, don't lose your head. And then early second half, 55 minutes, he gets booked again. for a challenge that did not need to be made. And I feel like regardless of that first instant, I feel like he was playing well. And Chelsea could not handle him in that like sort of first 20 minutes. His movement, they just could not handle it. Kind of like for every player, but he was, I'd say he was having an alright, he was good. And then that sort of yellow card, you're thinking, the first yellow card, you're thinking you got away with one there, like it could have been worse. And then you're thinking, okay, second half, you're going to stand up and you're going to, you know, rise to the occasion. Obviously that didn't happen. And it's just unfortunate. And it's just one of those things that, like I've said in my match review, that he will learn from. And hopefully in time, when he's back after the international break, we'll see what he brings. Okay, brings in the sense of his learning from the situation is what I mean, if that makes sense. So I gave Saar a 7. He got an early assist for his ball out wide. He definitely, when Udogie went off, he was working hard like he always does. Like I said, but like previously, like his work rate goes on like under radar sometimes. Also he got a yellow card. I can't remember I can't remember who the challenger was, but he ended up getting a yellow card. But I feel like he performed well when we went down to 9 men, and you put in that hard work, and I feel like he got hooked for Bentancur because of the yellow card, and also just to bring on fresh legs. But he did what he could, and yeah, I'm really like, yeah, it was a decent performance from Saar. Bissouma, I give Bissouma an 8. His quality in that middle of the pitch for like majority of the game was needed, and his use of the ball before we went down to 10 men, 9 men. I feel like, again, Chelsea could not handle it. They didn't know what to do. And I feel like he really stepped up when we went down to 9 men as well. The work effort, the work rate. And I could really realistically say this for every player that didn't get sent off. But yeah, his just work rate in that middle of the park and just everything. And he really helped us when we needed it, like going forward, when we get back on the ball, and like defending wise as well. You just have to give credit. And yeah. And I feel like Bissouma, from what we've seen from this performance, and also, what game was it? Crystal Palace? Even though technically it wasn't his best game, but I felt like he wasn't really making like silly decisions in the middle of the park. Like, you know, getting silly bookings and that, and diving. Like, I feel like I'm just going to mention this here because I mentioned the word diving. Sterling, diving twice but not getting booked. Whereas Bissouma got booked against Luton for diving, in which resulted in him getting sent off. So all we were looking for is a bit of consistency. So if Bissouma's getting booked for diving, why did Sterling not get booked for diving? He dived twice. So realistically, he should have been sent off, yeah? Is that how it works? Surely that's how it works. Like if you dive, it's a yellow card, yeah? So Sterling diving twice should mean he should have been sent off. That's a yellow card. Sterling diving twice should also mean he gets, like, yeah, I'm just putting it out there. It is what it is, do you know what I mean? Maddison. I'd give Maddison a 7. He played that he played that quick ball to side and build up for the Spurs early goal. And what a great ball it was, like that, sensational, let's be real. And I feel like he was performing like he was getting on the ball quite a bit in that first period. And then of course he goes down in the box without there was no contact, and obviously he came off after that, but well, soon, like a few minutes after that. But I feel like when we was in control of that game, he was his influential self, and we really could have needed him when we was like really going for it in the second half. I felt like maybe if Maddison was able, like he didn't pick up an injury, and we could have kept like he would have been a major part of us probably getting back into the game. I feel like he could have really been influential in that period. Kulusevski, I'd probably give a 7 as well. Obviously he got that goal, which was a deflected effort of Colwell, but he still got that goal, and he still, you know, he got the ball, he came inside and shot, and it was a good finish. Like, yes, it took a deflection, but like, I feel like it's always a good shot. And he was just like away, like he was constantly battling, and like the way he was just able to keep the ball and like everything he was doing, like it just Kulusevski things. And yeah, he was playing well, but then obviously going down, like losing players is not good, and obviously this 2 senders off really affected the game, but he did what he could when we could get forward and like really put into attack. So I feel like it was a good performance from Kulusevski. So for Brent Johnson, I'm gonna give him a 6. Now it's so unfortunate because he was having a really, really good game. Chelsea could not handle him in that sort of first 20-minute period. Obviously he set up that Son chance, which was ruled out for offside. And he had to be sacrificed for Dyer because of when Romero got sent off. And I just feel so sorry for him because he had to come off against Arsenal early because he got injured. And now he's had to come off early against Chelsea because of a red card. And it's just unfortunate that he's the one who had to be sacrificed. But obviously the change needs to be made. But I just feel so sorry for him. Like, hopefully he starts against Wolves and he gets the full 90 minutes because honestly, he's performing so, like, he's like the quality's there and like we can see it. We just want to see him perform for 90 minutes, and it's just unfortunate that these two things have gone against him. But I feel like what he did show whilst he was on the pitch for that period of time, it's really great, and definitely giving us more than Richarlison was giving us. And maybe Richarlison, because of the injury he's got, maybe that's like the result effect of it. But we'll see when he comes back. Hopefully, we probably won't see him until like months from now, so we'll see. But I have faith in Richarlison. And hopefully once he had his surgery and it's like successful, and like we'll see a different Richarlison. Moving on to the final player of the starting 11, Son. I'll give Son an 8. Obviously he had that ball, he scored that goal which resulted in being offside, but it was such a good finish as well. His movement for the entire game, let's be real, was immense. And the constant pressing, the constant running around, like he would, like captain Sonny, like he ran his heart out. And also, I just had to bring up his Instagram post. I think it was from yesterday. What he posted after, like, about the game and just everything. And, like, it wasn't like an apology. It was just sort of thanking for the support from the fans. Because the fan support was immense and, like, deserves credit. And I don't think I've ever seen such, like, a united fan base after your team is losing, like, 4-1. Like, against your rivals of that. But yeah, Son is just captain material, and just everything about Son, it's just, again, he's my favourite player at Spurs, so I'm just like, I love him. And yeah, everything, he had that late chance obviously with Sanchez, and it's just unfortunate that from that Chelsea go on and score a third goal, because if that goes in, who knows what could have happened. I feel like at that point, if it was 2-2, we might have hold it out for a draw. Maybe potentially, we'll never know. But he just ran his heart out, like I said, and just everything about the performance was just you just gotta love him for it. Okay, going on to the subs. Dyer came on obviously after Romero got sent off. I'd give him an 8. As soon as he came on, he was making early interceptions, blocks. And I was like I feel like he's come on to prove a point, and like that he can still be like, he can still give us something regardless of what like his contract situation is. And yeah, he put his heart and soul into that performance, let's be real. And obviously that finish, he volleyed home a great finish at like 10 minutes to go. And it was just so frustrating that he was offside, and they checked that for so long. Honestly, I feel like because of the mistakes in the when we Spurs playing Liverpool that they made, now every check they're making is sort of going for a bit longer, because I think they're probably afraid of making the same mistakes. That's just my theory. Anyways, I feel like it's a good case for it to be true. So I feel like that's why they're checking everything consistently, and it's like taking a bit longer than it normally would, and like, you can understand it, but it's also like, come on guys, come on. And obviously for his first appearance of the season, I think Dyer was excellent, and you just have to give him credit for his performance. And if he can keep performing like that for the amount of time he's in the squad, like in the starting 11, then I think we need to, you know, support him. You know, he deserves that. He performed really well. Obviously, people were worried about him coming on, but I feel like he stood up to the task well. Moving on to Royale, I'll also give Royale 8. He obviously he moved into centre back with Dyer, obviously to replace Van Ven, and obviously going in because I feel like oh my god, Emerson's good in the air and he's very good defensively, and I feel like being in that sort of centre back position, he stood up to the task well. Like, and then he switched out to left back, but I thought he was excellent regardless of what position he was in on that pitch. He performed really well, and I just love that for Royale, the way his sort of Spurs sort of career has turned around, and I just really rate that for him. And the hard work, and that's just down to his hard work and dedication to improve and get better, and his mentality is sensational. And I feel like the mentality of the players we've got, and just sort of instilled it in them as well. But some of them just have it, you know. Højbjerg, I'd give Højbjerg 9. Obviously after Udoka got a red card, he slotted into this like centre back, which he just slotted there really well. And I feel like for a short-term solution, that could be a potential thing we go with. I don't know whether that is something Andrew will think about, but the way he sort of performed, I feel like that could be the potential. He made a different goal line block, which I mentioned in my match review, with his knee, like that, and the reaction afterwards, we scored a goal, like that was just one of those like moments that you're thinking like, oh my god, like performance was amazing. I feel like he was just like fantastic there, and the way the sort of defence worked together, even like a makeshift, like you would not think Højbjerg would be like playing as a centre back. Dyer, who hasn't really played a minute this season, for it to perform for as well as it did, and obviously Højbjerg drove the team on before the late goals, but the way that the team was performing for the majority of that second half, and even after like we conceded another 3 goals or whatever, still driving that, like still going for it, still trying to score goals and everything, and you just have to rate, like, I love that. I still can't get over it. I still got that image of my head of like you got the 0, then you got the 7, and then you got the 1. Like that image is sensational. Like everyone's like shocked about it. Like I don't know why it's such a shock that Ange plays with a high line, and I feel like you're not going to change he's not going to change the way he plays. Like we've seen that with like Celtic and everything. Like he's not going to change. And normally people would play for high line when you're down men, but this Ange side, we do. So I'm here for it. Skip, I'd give an 8 as well. I feel like he brought on a lot of energy. He made a terrific interception in the Spurs box, and obviously he played that ball to Son, which could have equalised, which could be the equaliser. And I feel like this was a problem. Like when he's come on before easily, like his performances haven't been this high of a standard. But like I said before, like every player that was left on that pitch that didn't get sent off stepped up and they performed well and they fought for the fans, and Skip was a major part of that. And I feel like I would not sell Skip. I'd keep him. I feel like he still can offer us a lot, and I want to see him stick around. So now moving on to the last sub, Bentancur. Obviously Bentancur, he hasn't really played a lot because of his injury, and like he's come back and like he came on, and he, like, I would give him a 7. Like he was, like, I feel like he was really good, and he brought his quality, like he showed his quality in that midfield. And obviously that header is still in my mind, that header that he sort of missed, but he was so close. And we know with like when we saw Bentancur last season, him scoring late goals, like it just sort of became his thing. And I feel like slowly, like with like this performance, even though we're like down to 9 men, we could see what Bentancur can bring, and his movements on the ball, his touches on the ball, the way he kept the ball was everything that we were seeing from him before he got injured, because he was the performance of life before he got injured, but this performance was just like he was stepping it up. And like I cannot wait for Bentancur to get back to like full fitness and full sharpness, and just, you know, because he's going to be a big player for us. And if if Maddison's injury is a bit, if he's not able to play against Wolves, then I definitely think Bentancur will be put in there. I think maybe Lo Celso will play, but I feel like Bentancur might have a chance to play because, you know, it's one game and it's an international break, but it's going to be interesting to see what Ange goes up with. It's going to, like, I might do a predicted lineup because the lineup's going to be interesting, and to try and, like, because the lineup against Chelsea, I felt like I got it spot on. Like, I was right with who I put in. But now it's going to be like it's going to be a weird lineup. Like, I can't guess what Ange is going to do. But I think that's just the fun of predicting, and I feel like I'm going to do another prediction. Unfortunately, I can't do a live watch along to the Wolves game because it's 12:30 and I'm working, so I won't be able to I won't be able to do my live watch on because, you know, I'll be watching it in the car though. So yeah, I might do a predicted lineup because it's gonna be interesting. But so those are my play ratings for Ange. I felt like his lineup was spot on. Obviously, you can't count for the red cards, like those things happen, and that's not down. Well, it's not really like, because if you want Romero Udogie to play, so, you know, the lineup was. The lineup for me, probably like our best lineup, and just I was so excited before the game. I was like, this lineup, this team, like, this is what we produce compared to what we had last season. Like, it's changed so much, and just had one transfer window. Like, just if Daniel Levy backs him, and like, obviously I don't mean like spending loads of money, but just giving him players that he identifies, and like, they don't have to be expensive, like, just to fit this, like, to fit the team, be balanced, and just give us like everything. Like, it's insane. And it's just unfortunate that the red card sort of happened and all the injuries happened, so Ange had to make a lot of subs. But his tactics, as much as rivals are criticising for it, which is ridiculous because why do you care? The game was entertaining. Isn't that what you want from like a neutral standpoint? An entertaining game. But his tactics almost worked. Like, yeah, it's all if, buts and maybes, but like literally did. Like, if Son scores, it's 2-2. And yeah, you can argue if like Chelsea scored their chances as well, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, okay. But the point is, either way, it could have worked. Like, it might have gone against us, but that's the risk you're taking. And I'm pretty sure Ange already knew that the risk you're taking with 9 men against 11 and you're playing a high line like that. I'm pretty sure Ange knew the risks, okay? He's been a manager for a long time. I'm pretty sure he knows his tactics and like what the risk and rewards are. Like, I don't get this narrative, but it's whatever. And yeah, like, if Bentancur scored that chance, if Dyer was on the side, like, everything could have changed. And like, it's fine margins, but I take pride into that performance. And for me, and I'll probably give him a 7. I think that I wish I could give him higher, but it's just unfortunate that the sort of circumstances of the game just sort of went against us. But it's weird because the player ratings are quite high for losing 4-1, but you just need context to the actual game and not just a result, because sometimes the result doesn't reflect the performance, which it didn't. So there we have it. So those are my player ratings for the Tottenham vs Chelsea game. Let me know what your player ratings are and whether you agree with mine. And also, give me like your predicted lineup for Wolves. Like, who's going to centre back? I feel like Dyer probably will, but let me know what you think will happen in that Wolves game. I will be doing a predicted lineups very soon, so that should be up Friday. Hopefully, I'll try to get up for Friday because the game is on Saturday. But let me know. I don't know why I said it like that. He was like, no. Sorry. I'm a bit delusional. Like, I'm a bit delirious right now. I don't know why that is. I feel like I've been talking for constant. Like, I've been talking for nearly an hour and a half with all this. So I'm like, everything's happening too fast. But yeah, let me know what your predicted lineup for Wolves is. You can comment down below, or you could wait until my predicted lineup comes out on Friday and then you can let me know then. But anyways, that is my player ratings. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, come on you Spurs.